today on Divorce Court.
I'm here because I want to get a ring. I feel like our relationship would be more legit, and he's also the father of my 2 kids, so he does have to man up.
You can definitely want a ring. You can get a ring, but I'm just not. I'm not going to give you a ring, and I'm unhappy. And that's just the simple part about it. It's a lot of things that come with marriage that I don't know about, and I feel Ter'Asia doesn't either.
We've been together for too long, so we might as well take the next step.
Divorce Court is now in session.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with Ter'Asia Bradshaw and Joshua Tiller. The 2 of you have been together for 3.5 years. You're here on a before your vows case, and not necessarily we love each other, but we just are having some complications that you want him to put a ring on it already, and he's not ready to do it. So in your paperwork, this is what she says. What I want from the judge, I want the judge to knock some sense into Josh and help him realize he's not going to find a better woman than me. That was your request.
Right.
So I'm just kind of letting you know what kind of ride we're in for here today. Now, having said all, you guys got 2 kids together already. You're 22, and you're both 22,
Yes,
correct?
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
2 kids already, and you think he's cheating on you, and you still want to marry him. Why do you think he's cheating? Let's go for that first.
Well, the first reason why I think that he's cheating is because I actually have some type of proof.
Okay.
When I was 5 months pregnant.
With 1 or 2?
With 1.
Uh-huh.
So this is child number 1. I was 5 months pregnant, and I was really sleepy. So I go to sleep pretty early when I was pregnant.
Uh-huh.
I'll wake up maybe like 12, 11 o'clock in the nighttime, and I'll look around the house, he's not there. So I'll go outside the apartment, he's not there. Go outside to the car, he's not there. So I'm getting kind of like suspicious, like where could he be at? Then one day I seen that he had a phone call, and it was a girl. So I called her back. She ain't really say too much, but I told her, like, come get him. If you want to talk to him, y'all be hanging out late at night, come get him. So she did. He didn't want her, listen, Judge, he didn't want her to come to the house. They went to a high school down the street. So I went to the high school, waited for like 2 hours. They came back. They didn't know I was in the parking lot with my car. So he jumped out the car. He sees it's me. I try to pull up and try to tell her, like, well, no, he's staying with you. She pulls off. I try to get in my car to drive and follow her to let her know, like, come get him. And he stops me by putting the car in park. And that was the end of that. He keeps denying that they ain't had nothing going on, but I feel like, why was you sneaking out in the middle of the night for this person?
Listen, let me tell you young women something. Y'all don't know how to leave a man. You know? What do you mean? You gonna get in a car and chase him down to the high school, and then you're gonna chase this other girl around and tell them to take him. You say, get your stuff, get out, shut the door, period. End of story. That's it. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. You don't have to find out who he let. I don't care. He could date anybody. He's not of interest to me anymore. Out the door, take your stuff, go. Before I give you another reason, let Mr. Tiller explain to him the circumstance at the high school and what turned out almost to be a high-speed chase.
First of all, it wasn't really me sneaking out. I know how Ter'Asia gets. She's very dramatic, and to use that all one word, she crazy. So I get down to the high school and I'm talking to the girl. Her friend was in the car, so it wasn't like we were alone. It was somebody else in the vehicle too. And we were just talking.
But isn't it just weird to get in your car in the middle of the night to talk to somebody in the parking lot of a high school? I mean, you know, if you were a drug dealer or something, I could see, but for the purposes of conversation, isn't that odd?
It's very odd.
At the time, I wasn't really concerned with that because me and her were having our own little problems, so the girl was just somebody to talk to. Which the way I went about it was absolutely wrong, but I did it.
Can I just make this suggestion? Since I yelled at her, let me go ahead and yell at you. about you don't go to other women about you not being happy with your woman, because that other woman is gonna have designs on you, and she go, yeah, oh, she's no good. They've got all that, you know what I mean? And if you're a good-looking dude, and she may want to pull you, she's never ever gonna give you advice that is going to be helpful to you. She's looking out for herself. That's number one. Number two, 22-year-olds don't know anything. Y'all don't know anything. Your 22-year-old friends don't know anything. If you want to find out what's going on with a woman and a relationship, find an older woman that is in your family who likes you, who will talk to you.
Yes.
All right?
Yes, ma'am.
Holy cow.
There's multiple times where she's then chose other things over me, like her friends. She spends 2 weekends of the month in the club. And I got a really big problem with that. And then you tell me that you want me to take you on a date, but you can't even sit next to me on the couch.
You say he's not romantic. Why don't you tell me about that?
Well, for one, he's not romantic because it seemed like when I want to do stuff, like maybe I want to go take a walk down, like in the park at nighttime. We live in Cincinnati, so we have a river that we can go to and look and see downtown Cincinnati when it's light up. He don't even want to do that. He think everything got to be about money. And I feel like it's not about money. We can do the simple things. Simple things make me happy. But he can't understand that. He just feels like it's all about sex. It's all about what he wants. But he can't never give me what I want. So I feel like, why?
Did you hear what she just said?
Oh, I heard it.
Tell me what you think she meant when she said that. What is her complaint?
I don't basically give her any attention.
Not quite. Let me ask you this. Do you see any truth in what she just said? Do you see where she gets that idea from?
Yes and no.
Okay, explain that to me.
Yes, because I understand exactly what she's saying. I'm not lost on that part. But the no part is, you can't demand or ask something from somebody and then don't try to give them anything in return.
Explain that to me.
You can't tell me that you wanted me to be romantic and all these different things, but I don't even get no affection or no romance from you. That it goes both ways. Just like I said, you can't.
You feel unappreciated as well.
Absolutely.
Tell me why you feel unappreciated.
There's multiple times where she's then chose other things over me, like her friends or what's going on social media, all these different type of things over me. She would rather go to the club than to spend the time with me. She spends 2 weekends or 3 of the month in the club.
In the club.
But I don't even see you, and then you at work all day, and when you come home, you on your phone. You talking to your friends. You don't talk to me. And I got a really, 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 really big problem with that. And then you tell me that you want me to take you on a date, but you can't even sit next to me on the couch. So what are we
arguing about? I'm gonna let you respond to that briefly, and then I want to talk about my man's closet. But go ahead.
I did in the beginning. I did give him everything was about Josh. I did everything to please Josh. But once I felt like you was cheating, then you just don't do what I asked. Like I said, I just asked for simple things. He can't do that. So why do I want to have sex with you and just be intimate with you if you can't even be romantic and go on a date? I don't ask for much. I just ask for little stuff. And he can't do that. And then when I go out, it's because he was always gone. I was always in the house. So I always stayed with the kids. Right. So I'm in the house 24/7.
You want to get out, you want to do something.
Exactly. And he plays the game. So why would I want to sit there on a couch? You don't pay attention to me. You pay attention to your game more than you pay attention to me.
You say not only does he pay attention to his game, but he is in love with his closet.
Yes.
Tell me about his closet.
He cares more about his shoes and clothes than he do me.
Do you have a picture to show me?
Yes, I do.
Now, as she's showing me this picture, do you want to defend yourself? Or necessary? What would you like to? Am I going to be horrified or what? Cleaner than my closet. Wow, that's a lot of shoes.
I like stuff. I've always been like that.
Do your daughters have, college funds or anything like that? You ready for that? Or do you live in a neighborhood where there aren't any good schools? Maybe you might have to send them to a private school. You ready for any of that? What if somebody gets sick? What if somebody loses a job? Are you ready for any of that?
You're absolutely right. But most of this stuff is previous stuff, though. This ain't just stuff I've been buying and all those type of things. Like I've had this stuff.
Previous to what? You two got together when you were, 17?
I've had this stuff for a long time. I really have, believe it or not. I really have. It's just I just take care of my stuff, and that's all it really is.
How much money do you spend, you think, monthly on shoes and clothes? Be honest.
I don't know. I couldn't even tell you. I'm gonna be honest with you.
$200-300?
It's a lot. That's only one pair.
That's one pair of shoes. Do you know how much money you would have if you put $200 to $300, maybe in a mutual fund or an investment account, or for your kids' education, $300 every month? Do you know those girls would be solid by the time it was ready for them to go to school? But rather than invest in their mind and in their future and in their current day health and welfare, should something go amiss at your house, you are investing it in your feet. Do you see that? Do you see how deep that is?
That's me.
I got in a car accident, hit a mailbox. The police said something that he didn't like to me, and he felt like he had the need to say something, and him and the police got in an argument. Then they started wrestling.
Yeah, you can't be wrestling with the police. That thing can turn out really wrong. Do you think Josh is giving Ter'Asia the attention she deserves? Tell us what you think at facebook.com/Divorce Court. Divorce Court will be right back. If you would like your case to be heard on Divorce Court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Divorce Court. I read you guys' compatibility test, and it pretty much showed up the same way you have here. But my understanding is, too, that you are concerned about his temper. Tell me what the problem is with his temper.
He has no filter. He thinks that he don't matter who, he don't care who you are, he will tell you how he feels. So if he feel like he's being disrespected, it don't even have to be like as much as a big disrespect. He just has a mouth. He just can't control it. For instance, I got in a car accident, hit a mailbox. He came, because it was like right around the street from us. He came, make sure I was okay, but that issue was with the police. The police said something that he didn't like to me, and he felt like he had the need to say something, and him and the police got in an argument. Then they started wrestling. So that kind of self-explanatory.
Yeah, you can't be wrestling with the police. That thing can turn out really wrong.
This is just how I am, and I'm not going to apologize for how I am. I'm sorry, I'm not.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about how you are and not apologizing for it. If you're not going to apologize I'm not asking you to apologize for who you are, but I'm asking you to grow up and be a better person.
Absolutely.
Because if you're not in control of your temper and your time, you get into the wrong situation with the wrong police. You got 2 daughters that you're trying to raise. You don't have the right to be cavalier about your safety. You don't have the right to be cavalier about your money. You don't have the right to say, this is me and I'm not going to apologize for who I am. You are obligated to man up. You are obligated to step forward. You are obligated to do those things that are not easy for you. You are obligated to take command of who you are, how you feel, and what you do, because those girls are counting on you. This is how I am. You know how weird I used to be? I could still be weird at 22 with those crazed ideas I had that I didn't want to talk to anybody, and I didn't want to leave the house, and I didn't want to do that. That's who I was. But who I was wasn't getting me where I want to be. Look what, you know what I'm saying? He's got a lot of negatives going for you. You think he's cheating, he's got a bad temper, he spends a lot of money, but you want to connect yourself to him. Because of the 2 kids, is that it? I mean, but for the girls, would you not be wanting to marry him?
No, it's actually because When we first got together, everything was good. Everything, like, he was just the only person I cared about. I didn't care about nobody else. But it just seemed like now it's just changing, because I don't know if we getting older or what, like we like trying to go in our separate ways. But I really do love him, and he's the only person I really just see myself with.
That's because you haven't been around enough to see anybody else. I mean, you've been with him since your hormones woke up. Do you see yourself ever marrying her?
Yes, I could. Absolutely. My biggest thing with her is her maturity, and mine's too. That's why I say I don't think we neither one of us is ready. It's always something. And I know that in a marriage, you're gonna have your problems. But I feel like, so to speak, we in a little marriage, a mini marriage, if you wanna call it. We in a relationship. And if we can't get this right.
I hear you.
And I'm not trying to go through that.
I hear
That's too much paperwork.
I hear you. I hear you. Are these teenage sweethearts now ready for marriage? Share your opinion on Twitter and Instagram @Divorce Court. Divorce Court will be right back. Ms. Bradshaw, I understand exactly what you're looking for here. And if I was in your position, well, my mother would have shot me, but I would want the same thing. I wouldn't want to be anybody's baby mama. I would want to be somebody's wife. I would want to have that legal obligation there that he has to be there and support you and support them and have that status. I would do that. The best way not to be a baby's mama is don't have children until you're married. Control your fertility. There are plenty of ways out there to control it. And what you've done is you have lost all your leverage and power. You're so invested in keeping him because those are your baby's kids, and he has no real need to do anything in your direction because everything's fine for him the way it is. And I'm sorry that it's that way, but the only thing I can ask from you is to get a bigger life. I know it's hard with 2 kids, but you should get educated and mature and be able to, if the time comes, to move on without him, should he not be the man that you want to live with for the rest of your life. He needs to continue to be a father to those children, but don't wait forever. A man is not a plan.
Right.
Mr. Tiller, I think you heard me when I said something about those tennis shoes and your girl's college. And I respect the fact that you heard that. I want you to understand this as well. Your daughters will put up with whatever she ends up putting up with from you. And if you want to feel like nothing one day, you run up on your 16-year-old daughter knocked up by some dude who don't want to keep her and who's running around. Talk about hurt your heart. And you're not a callous guy. You're a thoughtful guy. You're a thinking guy. And I think that will kill you. But that's exactly what you're teaching your daughters to take. Bare minimum. Bare minimum. And how damning that is to give your children bare minimum. I hope that whatever you two do, you do so in a manner that does not condemn your daughters to a life you wouldn't want to have them live. You're too young to get married now. You don't know nothing. I hope you get married one day once you learn something. But I wish you and your daughters the very best of luck. This matter is adjourned.
Yeah, we're too young to get married, but I feel like we have a lot of growing to do, and if we continue to keep growing with each other, that we can get to that point that we can be married.
I need to set goals for myself and understand that my kids are my future and they should be important to me rather than materialistic things. Also with that, my girl, I need to start paying more attention to her and letting her see that I am there and I do see her. Whatever she needs, I should just give it to her, romantically, whatever. And I really think that was an eye-opener to me, listening to the judge and hearing it from somebody else's point of view.